Strange and spooky phenomena have always occurred in nature throughout the history of the world, and unfortunately, we've never been able to truly ascertain whether some of these things are real. However, with trail cams becoming more and more popular these days, we can now capture some of those strange creatures and fascinating things that could occur out in the wild. Here are some of the most horrifying things caught by trail cams that nobody was supposed to see. Grim Reaper. We start off with something truly unbelievable. After all, like the prince in the seventh seal, nobody wants to see their death or the figure of their afterlife anywhere near them, even when their own time has come. Seeing as no one is desperate for its company, it appears that this Grim Reaper was looking for some alone time when it took a stroll out in the woods one innocuous night. What it didn't take into account was the trail cam hidden in the woods. The footage taken towards the end of 2012 shows this messenger of death as it wandered around the woods. Many people, of course, have speculated that this must be a prank or a hoax, maybe even an amateur actor on a set of some D-list horror movie. However, this doesn't take away from the fact that nobody wants to see the universal symbol of death on their camera roll, lurking around in the woods. This is quite frankly one of the most disturbing things you could find on a trail camera. Ghost Girl in Cambridge, New York. The next harrowing entry on our list moves from the symbol of the dead to someone who is feared to be dead. We head over to Cambridge, New York, where a trail camera just happened to capture the picture of what seemed to be just another normal little girl skipping through a wooded area. However, the image began to go viral as people began to realize that the image seemed to be of a ghost. As you can imagine, nobody can actually explain whether or not this trail camera did truly capture the image of a specter in the woods. In fact, if anybody knows who this little girl might be or how this picture came about, please let us know in the comments section. At least you can help me overcome the nightmares I have because of this ghostly image.
You know who this girl is?
Yep.
So, who is it?
I don't want to give her name yet until they verify it, but it's a local businessman here in southern Washington County who says around the time frame this picture was taken that him and his granddaughter were walking a four-wheeler path.
Zombie. We move over from the dead to the living. Well, the living dead. Back in 2012, a trail camera just happened to capture the image of a zombie that wouldn't look out of place in George Romero's pioneering horror movie, The Night of the Living Dead. Ragged and disheveled, this zombie appears desperate for the brains of the living. At least that's what people think the man trying to roleplay as the undead was trying to portray. That being said, you can never be too sure if this is fake or real, as no one has ever come out to say that they were the one who was lurking in the dark, as that dreadful figure in 2012. Looking at this harrowing image, I wouldn't blame any of you if you became wary of a world-ending zombie outbreak. Flying Girl. Next up, we're going to take a look at something truly living, but still as astonishing as our previous 3 entries on the list. Trail cameras are set up in the world or in countryside areas so that we can monitor the activities of the wildlife there. However, as the footage shows, one trail camera in one of the many woods that can be found in the massive country of Russia happened to record something unimaginable, an actual flying girl. That's right, not too much like Wonder Woman or Supergirl. This trail camera watched as an unidentified girl in a red coat levitated in the air while another unidentified person, probably a woman, watched. The mesmerizing event only came to a stop when they were interrupted by an approaching dog, which made the pair stop what they were doing before running away. Although some people have theorized that the girl was thrown in the air by the woman, I think it's fair to say that that was no throw. Maybe one day we might see this little girl take on Thanos or any other intergalactic threat to the planet along with the Avengers. Intense bear brawl. From the unreal to something that we might all be more familiar with, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Trail cams are installed in the woods and other wildlife areas so that we can observe critters and beasts alike as they go about their daily business. Animals are awesome and beautiful to watch, but sometimes they could be equally petrifying. 3 trail cams happened to record such a terrifying scene when 2 bears went toe-to-toe with one another in the forest. Bears can be territorial, and this seemed to be the case as they tore each other apart over one of the forest's tall trees. After a brief standoff, the bears proceeded to wrestle and bite at each other, neither willing to back down. It is one of the most awesome yet terrifying bout you'd find out there in nature. deer with a tire around its neck. In the next entry on this list of harrowing trail cam captures that'll alarm people, we move from a terrifying event to a puzzling one. Sometime back, several trail cams in a wildlife sanctuary in Colorado managed to record footage of a bull elk that for some reason had a tire around its neck. Maybe the elk happened to wear the tire just before its horns grew too long, to lose its rubber ornament, but no one really could tell how this could have occurred. Fortunately, the park rangers in control of the sanctuary were more concerned about its well-being than how the tire got around its neck, so they made plans to save the elk from its predicament. After stalking the wild elk, they managed to cut the tire off its neck. Although this poor animal was able to get some help, the story still remains a reminder of how pollution of the planet is capable of affecting nature, and the other animals that call this planet home. Black bear chasing cyclist in the woods. In our next entry, we take a look at another bear. However, rather than one bear trying to harm another one, this case is a reminder that the massive killing machines have also been known to rip humans to shreds. Ask Leonardo DiCaprio, he can tell you something about that. In this case, a trail cam was able to capture the moment one man in the United States was also reminded of how dangerous these wild beasts can be. While he was riding down a trail on his bike, the man was alarmed to learn that he was being hunted down by a black bear. Unsurprisingly, he sped off, something that plenty of people throughout history have been unable to do. It's important that people who go camping in forests and woods should always remember how dangerous these bears can be. Alien 206 Vid 2. In our final entry, we're going to look at something that could literally be from out of this world. One dark night in Colorado, a security camera happened to capture footage of a strange creature wandering around the home of a woman named Vivian Gomez. What makes this extraordinary enough to go viral on social media was that the lanky creature stalking and shimmering outside Gomez's home seems to be something out of a Steven Spielberg E.T. Although some people believe that something so incredulous would be shimmying down a random person's driveway, others are truly fascinated by what seems to be an alien that may want to make this planet its new home. Maybe J and K from the Men in Black are on the case as we speak. Maybe carry a pair of shades around just in case.